Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So I just wanted to sort of get people's thoughts or feelings or reactions to a lot of the new info that we got tonight. There was a Dokkan, booth at Jump Festa. We essentially had what is, I guess like a JP producer's letter is what we can, say that it was. Which went over quite a few things. We know that the New Year's Duel Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan 3 Goku Hirudegarn. I'm sure a lot of people are either excited about that or maybe not so excited. I think probably a bit more notable is that Chain Battle is being permanently retired. There will be one final Chain Battle coming up next month, and then that is going to be that. Chain Battle is going to be done for good. This is kind of a huge thing, so there's going to be rewards and extra bonuses. It said, potentially like Dokkan event medals, more of those dropping based on, on how your power level is, I guess. The ability to potentially get extra attempts on daily stages that have attempt limits, like, red zone stages, that are, 5 times a day. Well, maybe if your power level's high enough, you get up to, 8 times a day or something like that. I mean, it certainly is an intriguing idea. And then what's really good alongside that is that they're going to change how power level is determined. Right now, power level is determined by 4 factors. You get 1 point for every potential node opened. I think is it 10 points for the first time you clear a stage ever, right? Like the first time a stage is completed from a new event. You get 100 points, I believe, from a Dokkan Awakening. I think it's 100. And then you get 1,000 points if a character gets a Link level 10. So the system, as it's currently constructed, is heavily weighted towards intense Link leveling and having like really, a high amount of Link level 10 characters. So the fact that that's going to be updated, changed, and, improved, I think is really good. I think they could certainly make it a little bit more, I guess accessible is a word we could say. Maybe max SA characters could give power level. There's a lot of things. I think doing easy A stages, I think, is an easy one. There's a lot of ways I think that they could make it to where you could get power level a little bit more easier. And then we still have no info on the global sync. Now, this seemed to be a pretty... I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff being given, so it does seem like generally a lot of people in the community at this point are kind of thinking that it's not going to be for quite a while, right? Obviously, like right around here is where if global was going to be having a synced anniversary, we very likely would be getting info on that, I'm sure. Global very well may get like a global producer's letter or something like that sometime within the next couple of days. We'll see. But global is very likely to move into Super Trunks, Omega, and then eventually 17, 18, and LR Ribrian. So let's just go ahead and see what a bunch of people are saying. New Year's sort of been a good time to sync things up. Oh, yeah. As far as I'm aware, I think One Piece Treasure Cruise, I think New Year's was around when they had a sync. Now, I actually for the first time heard someone say that like the lead up to the sync was terrible on like the sort of like global side for One Piece Treasure Cruise. I really should maybe look into that, get more research on exactly like how everything was done and stuff like that leading up to the sync with One Piece Treasure Cruise. But yeah, New Year's would have been good. Anniversary would have been good. A lot of these things certainly. Movie related as expected, yeah, with like the Ize area amongst other things, right? Could be good if they learn from it for a World Tournament revamp. This is about Chain Battle being taken away. Time investment for World Tournament's insane. Yeah, they need to... They have to do something with World Tournament. Now, a lot of people were kind of like, oh my god, they did this to Chain Battle, but they didn't touch World Tournament. Again, I think that a lot of JP players like World Tournament, believe it or not. So that might have to do with why, again, Chain Battle is gone, and then, World Tournament is the same. Keep in mind that they do also mention internal discussions about Chain Battle and stuff like that. So, like, I saw Garesh say, I don't know if it's in one of these, because I've got this, we got some quotes, we got this other tweet I made, we got some quotes and stuff like that. I don't know if it was on these where Garesh said it, but I saw Garesh say that it's possible that maybe not even enough people played Chain Battle, right, comparative to the total amount of players and stuff like that. So they decided not to go through with it. So I guess that is certainly very possible, right? More the better. This is, I think, really the power level stuff. And then, yep, it's so important. I think that they make it more than just link level simulator, right? There's a lot of things they could do a little bit better. And then, yeah, F's in chat for the global sync. Right now, I mean, I don't even know. Do we think that Dokkan themselves even knows when the actual sync is going to be? I'm not sure. I don't know if like they know like when exactly they're going to do it. It seems like, you know, they have plans to begin moving towards it, but you know, I don't know if there's anything deeper than that. Chain battle removal and reward relocation is a massive W. Let's focus on Dokkan's gameplay being something engaging rather than box flex simulator. Sure, but here, let's finish. World Tournament should be next. It's even worse than Chain Battle. I agree, yeah. No clue how they reallocate the unit reward. So the thing about Chain Battle that's a little bit like, okay, so like box flex simulator. The thing about that is most of the units you're using in Chain Battle are not your own. I mean, certainly, you know, someone like me with, you know, the characters I have, it would be easier for me to find high-level friends, for sure. But it's not like the mode was super pay to win beyond that. I mean, if you're, you know, the 3 characters you yourself use, obviously if they were rainbowed and stuff like that, your, you know, score is going to be higher. But like it mattered quite a bit on your friends as well. I'm still kind of like wrestling with my thoughts. I would say I gear more towards the side of being bummed, but I mean, I certainly do understand why a lot of people, you know, like Dokkan assets here are excited at Chain Battle's, you know, sort of like demise. Again, my issues with Chain Battle though were very like boomer-esque, right? Like I mentioned this, but like, you know, you open up the screen and there's all the characters and then there's just like all these flashing lights and stuff like that. And it's like my eyes, like I'm really like squinting, like is that the, you know, one of the 6 Super Saiyan Gokus that looks identical? Is this the one I'm actually looking for? So, you know, it'll be good to not have to worry about that. And they did say they're going to move the rewards elsewhere too, so maybe that could be very good. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of excitement that Chain Battle is gone, for sure. Worried about how impactful Hirudegarn actually will be. I mean, it's like impossible to know because it's the first actual Hirudegarn we've gotten. Like, sure, you know, Hirudegarn is kind of part of the card with Tapion, but very, very tough to say. Good riddance at Chain Battle is gone. They give us time in existing modes, make actually good ones. Yeah, we'll see. I would click the tweet, but it would scroll me all the way back up the top. What categories will Hirudegarn have? Again, I mean, we know that he'll have Time Traveler, Legendary Existence, movie bosses. I'm forgetting one. But it's probably not going to be too many like that. So it's one of those things. Perhaps maybe there's going to be like a new powerful category that will be coming in. I mean, keep in mind the last 2 years. Well, I mean, New Year's is usually bringing in new categories. Yeah, every year for a long time, since categories have been a thing pretty much, they've been introducing new categories for New Year's, right? Starting with 2018, Movie Heroes finally got its category with Blue Gogeta. We had Super Saiyan 3, and then Majin Vegeta didn't introduce Kuroda Body and Mind, did he? I know that the Goku... Actually, no, Goku didn't introduce Super Saiyan 3 either. What are they? Otherworld Warrior, and then Vegeta is... I gotta double check what Vegeta's lead is, actually. Yeah, here we go. Goku introduced Otherworld Warrior, and Vegeta introduced Super Saiyan 2. Those are the 2 new categories that they introduced. Paikon and Janemba, that was Kuroda Body and Mind, as well as Connected Hope that they introduced, right? Yup, right there. Then in 2021, that would have been Battle of Fate that was introduced. Very, very good category. And then obviously last year was superheroes. We could see, I mean, this is the 7th anniversary right here. So they do not add new categories in very often. I mean, just this year, 2023, we have 2 new categories: Power Wishes and Tournament Participants. That's crazy. Those are the only 2 new categories in the game this year. So maybe we could get some sort of new category for Hurtigarden like that. If 1 million power level doesn't give me at least 28 medals per run, they got to scrap the whole concept, do it over again. Well, again, remember, they're updating how the score is even being calculated. So, I mean, I would imagine with, kind of like a good revamp, everyone's scores will go up in like a meaningful way. Because again, I think at least like SA10s would be very good for a lot of like free-to-play players, stuff like that, amongst other things. So we'll see. Being able to have a massive power level, and then imagine if you would get like 50 medals per run or something like that, like that really would be huge for sure. All right, so let's go on to the next one here. What do we got? Chain Battle being retired is really dumb. If anyone should have been World Tournament. Again, this is... I mean, I'm certainly not going to disagree with this at all, right? I think World Tournament is the worst thing in Dokkan. It's been like this for a very long time. I am literally grinding World Tournament as we're talking right now, which is terrible. But it's a lot deeper than it just should have been World Tournament. And I do really think them listening to feedback from Japanese players is a big thing. I mean, keep in mind that the fan meetup, right? Like the way they kind of like got the attendees was from placing highly in World Tournament, right? So no sync news is unsurprising since it was a JP announcement. Last video with it was only October. Well, I mean, yeah, but they showed the roadmap here, which like even on the JP roadmap, like they're making like a big deal about it. Like it's got its own thing that they're talking about. Power level change has been needed 100%. Absolutely. Chain battle removal is fine, so it's the most RNG dependent sub mode, but the gap needs to be filled. New Year's not being same time sucks. I mean, chain battle, I don't think was really that RNG dependent, was it? It was just, from my experience seeing a lot of people complain about chain battle scores, it's like, okay, Blue Vegeta is like the special character from, for this chain battle, but it's Future Saga Blue Vegetas. And I'll see people who are like running setups like as Resurrection F Blue Vegeta and stuff like that, and being like, well, this mode sucks. What is this, right? And like it's stuff like that. Like it did matter, right? Like, if they were like literally one of the special boost characters and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of people did not really take the time to learn the mode. Like, I mean, it's not it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people do not want to learn it, right? Excited to see if the power level changes make the general gameplay loop more fun. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really want to sit down and think of like what are some things that could raise power level. Like, could they have like just even a singular point or something like that every time you clear a stage? Like, I mean, I would be curious. So I know I'm closing in on 200,000. I think quest mode clears, right? And then, I mean, a lot of the other stuff is just like, like maybe I've done like 15,000 like Dokkan event type clears and stuff like that. Maybe I should pull this up in 1 second. Again, I am grinding World Tournament, but I suppose we could talk about this, because maybe if it like literally, rather than like, okay, you get power level the first time you do a stage ever, I mean, if you were getting power level every single time you cleared a stage at all, that certainly could be a positive, advancement, maybe. All right, so we're here in my thingy mabobber, so let's just go here, and then we click here, and then, so if we got one singular point from every single clear here, I mean, you could see that this would certainly add up to some extra power level, but, I mean, I think that would be good to at least give players points from just doing a stage every single time. I feel like that could be something that could, incentivize players to actually play, because, like, you could do whatever type of stage you want to, or, maybe if you're grinding up, like, a story event where you need, like, a medal to drop or something like that, and it doesn't drop, maybe at least you feel like you're accomplishing even a little bit of something. So, certainly, again, there's various things they could do to make that better. Disappointed removing chain battle. Yeah, okay. It's I'm seeing a lot of people happy, but I am seeing a fair amount of people disappointed too. Okay, people yapping about chain battle removed as a W. Servers dedicated to help people. People enjoy helping people do the charts and stuff. Yeah, I mean, there certainly was dedicated communities basically to chain battle. That's a true thing. Probably the most community healthy game mode we had in the game outside the main game. Maybe. I mean, again, it certainly did cause people to really go out of their way to help each other, right? I've seen people cycle through friends during like their friends list. Like okay, like I have this really awesome setup. I'm gonna add 20 people per day, and then you could maybe get a high score. I'll remove you, and then the next day I'm gonna add another 20 people, right? Like people were going out of their way to try and help a lot of the community with that, right? Like that was a real thing all over the place. So I mean, there's not like this is not baseless, statements like this, right? All right, let's see what else we got. Makes sense they remove chain battle since it was requested in surveys. I mean, yeah, having too many modes in the game is a bit overwhelming for new players. Maybe. I mean, one thing about Dokkan that is very, very good is that Dokkan is rather simple, right? Like it's very easy to just, like jump into a stage, especially now that like auto is a thing. It's very easy to just like do a stage just like, throughout the day, like you're, waiting in line somewhere, or, you're at the gym or something like that. Just do like a quick stage. Like it works very, very easily, compared to games that maybe are a little bit more complex, right? Like Legends, right? Like if you're doing PvP, like you got to sit down, two hands, really lock in. But Dokkan is very easy to just, do a stage or, start a stage on auto while focusing on something else or doing something else, right? Very, very, very easy to do. I think that's an important thing about Dokkan to keep in mind. Amatsu would be a great fit for the Chargers. Yeah, Chargers not doing so hot right now. UI Goku buff. Well, probably Anniversary. There's no reason not to assume that Mastered UI Goku Evolution Blue Vegeta will easy during that Anniversary. Someone else who misses chain battle. Okay, we got a lot of positive chain battle stuff here. Hyped to see a new Dragon Fist with 2023 animations in the first Harudagarn unit, even though he had many teams. Yeah, but I mean, they certainly could make his team crazy or create a new villain category. Maybe they make like powerful opponent or something like that. Like there's stuff they could do. Chain Battles OSC was cool. Yeah, it was. If I follow Matumba, Global Sync comes earlier by 2 months. Oh, I might need to follow. Oh, boy. New Year's picks were great. Harudagarn opens door for so many giant form playable characters. Okay. I saw a couple of people talk about this. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know that these are correlated, right? Like, okay, so we always, I guess, could have just had, like, so, like, it's just a grade 8 Vegeta. I guess we could have always had something like that, right? Or like, a Harudagarn or something like that. Because it's, like, there's not a difference between Fat Janemba and Harudagarn, or Cell Max, or Baby. So it's, like, Harudagarn getting a card does not all of a sudden mean, oh, my God, we can get Cell Max now. Like, this isn't Legends where they have to worry about fitting the model in and stuff like that. So, like, I don't think that Harudagarn opens the door up for those characters. It's like it already has been a possibility. By the way, one thing to keep in mind is that Harudagarn, based on his SSR art, in that he's already, like a giant monster, he's probably not going to have a giant transformation, and thus Harudagarn is not going to be on the giant form category. Important to keep in mind with that. And yeah, it's not coming to global. Probably will come to global. I mean, I guess, to be fair, it's not 100% confirmed it's not coming to global, but I mean, I think Super Trunks is coming, right? And if it's not coming to global, global will probably get this at the start of April, which means global would go like Dual Dokkan Fest straight into Dual Dokkan Fest, which is crazy. Do I like, Makima? I have not, watched or read, Chainsaw Man. I have not done it yet. At some point I will. I'm sure. I gotta jump on One Piece first. Happy it's Wrath of Dragon, but everything else kinda, yeah. There's been mixed reactions. This is true. Every single day, we are factually one day closer to the sync. That is true. everything coming to the game at both games at the same time, which I think is just going to be a really good thing. Let's see. Okay, so here's for Gresh. We can't know for sure, but I bet one of the factors that led to them choosing to discontinue Chain Battle is the play rate of the mode. Oh, that's what I referenced earlier, right? I saw this comment. I bet that only a small fraction of the player base even attempts it every time it's up. Yeah, I mean, it does feel very horrible to play a lot of the time. So, I mean, I don't think that he's probably wrong about that, right? That, like, a lot of players just don't even do it. Yeah, it makes sense. Seeing the sync being far beyond 9th anniversary and potentially not until 10th, not showing New Year's units being reduced to TURs. Okay, but that's, I don't, like, people cared about this so much. Like, if they're TURs or LRs, I don't, like last year, they just try and do, like, an extra special big thing. It's not, like, I don't know. Like, I don't consider this a huge deal myself. Right, like we're still getting, like, you know, powerful Dokkan Fest characters here, just because they're not LRs. I don't know that it really matters that much. And removing Chain Battle is still to my enjoyment of the game profusely. Very big step back for the game. I mean, the thing is, eventually we are going to get the global sync. I mean, I know a lot of people were very excited for it to come sooner rather than later, but again, when Amatsu announced the global sync, there was not really info given besides we will give you guys more info when there's more info, right? Essentially. I mentioned this, I think, already in this video too, but I'm leaning towards they don't even know when the global sync is yet. Like, they're kind of, like, they just announced it early. I would also say, I do think them announcing it at all is a good idea. I'm seeing a lot of people like, oh, they shouldn't have even announced it. And I don't agree. I'm glad that they announced it. Yeah, let us know this cool, awesome thing is coming. I mean, maybe they could, I don't know. I was going to say maybe they could tell us it's not coming quite so soon. I mean, obviously Amatsu was, you know, standing there during Worldwide Download Celebration, and he knew that, like, the sync was not going to happen by anniversary. Maybe he could have said that, like, you know, like, we're doing the sync, we started the process, but, you know, this is something that's maybe like a year away or something like that. Like, maybe he could have at least given some details, but, I mean, I could certainly understand, like, he wouldn't want to say something and then, like, lock himself into that. So, I don't know. People are going to be mad no matter what. I really do feel like that. I think it was a good idea to announce that they had decided to make the global sync a thing. I do think it's a good idea for them to have done that. All right, we'll keep going. We'll see what else people are having to say here. Reason Chain Battle is not as bad as people say is that its gameplay is well suited to a mobile game. Just in that it moves very fast. Yeah, like, again, it's a very, very quick, like, thing. Minimal time / effort per day, and you're rewarded, in contrast to World Tournament. Least suited to a mobile game because it requires your undying attention while it lasts. Yeah, I'm going through it right now. Absolutely, it's terrible. Yeah. Chain Battle leaving is definitely sad. I was going to enjoy the mode. Yeah, I've become a pretty big Chain Battle defender supporter, right? More upset that it's not syncing this year, like, I guess anniversary, when they very much could have. Well, I mean, again, I think it's easy to say that, but I don't completely know everything that goes into the sync. Now, I don't think the games are being merged, right, or anything like that. It's just like they're gonna get global up, like, kind of like at the same, like, everything at the same time. So that's certainly easier than, like, directly merging it. But I mean, I imagine there is a lot of planning that goes into it, because you got to understand, they don't, like, okay, so, like, we just got the LR Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. When was that decided to be this Carnival LR? Like, January of this year? Before, maybe? Like, it's like, you know, these things are decided way, way, way ahead of time. So, I mean, it's hard to just say they could have. I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, they could just drop a banner with every character, and they could just, you know, spam a World Tournament every couple of days and all these events and stuff like that. But, I mean, there must be more to it than that, right? I think how they handled it last year, movie or not, was perfect. I guess talking about the Gohan and Piccolo, like the superhero characters. Fine with it being a TR again, but a 4-month wait kind of kills hype, not gonna lie. Yeah, well, I mean, that's been the history of global. Keep in mind that there's a lot of global players who say they're not happy that like global is even catching up at all. There's a lot of global players that don't like that, right? They actually like waiting and stuff like that. Don't hate chain battles going away. We'll miss the level 7 orbs. So yeah, but they're redistributing their rewards, right? Like those types of things are not going away. So that's gonna be good. For the average person playing chain battle could be extremely frustrating. Certainly, yeah. Because the thing is, it's like, like I mentioned earlier, like, like some people like kind of like didn't fully learn like the mechanics of it and stuff like that. Certain type of characters to select. Chain battle does not really explain things incredibly well, or if at all, anyway. So like I totally get that, like for like just like a normal guy just playing Dokkan or girl, it would be brutal potentially doing chain battle. Perfect rainbow connector friends. Shouldn't be able to get over 100k because of the friends and the other characters they could give you and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it certainly could be an issue, right? No doubt about that. Let's hope the good and easy to get chain battle rewards are not difficult to get now. Unit choice are fine for New Year's. Yeah, we'll see. I don't even know, like, where do we think they're going to be putting these chain battle rewards at? Is it just going to be an entirely new mode or what? I'm not really too sure. Would they just, like, think about how they just added the missions where we can get more Dokkan event medals, like maybe something like that? Like, who knows? Honestly, don't like that they removed it, I guess, referring to chain battle. Feel like all the work I did to collect dupes and remove them is all a waste. What am I going to do with the TUR SSR, EGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Change them for 6 coins. Also, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, I would assume that whatever, like, goal they had to want players to have, like, incentive to not, like, be like, okay, I rainbowed the character, I don't need him anymore, but now, like, oh, like, I rainbowed the character, but now I gotta get their TUR, now I gotta get their SSR, right? Like, I'm sure they will come up with a way where people would still want to do that. Because, Chain Battle is a mode that is kind of like, monetizing getting more and more and more copies of characters. And, I mean, I have done summons, all right, let's, rainbow the TUR for my Chain Battle friends, stuff like that. Like, I've uttered those words before while summoning, so that is a thing that can happen. Rewards were so good for a mode that takes 2 minutes, but RP. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing is, if you load in, you get like a nice, top 1% score. You get like a perfect lineup, like just a friend that's just there. And it's like you could be done with Chain Battle very, very fast. Okay, well, I think we read that one. Let's see. So glad that Dokkan removed Chain Battle completely. Hopefully in the next major update they remove the map from World Tournament. Oh, that would be sick. Make Patan Battle the same as Legends Adventure System. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people upset and talking about Patan. I think that, like, kind of like being very mad about Patan is just a little odd, because it is kind of like just the Legends Adventure System. I mean, I get that it is kind of like a card collection thing too. So like if you're missing one character from like the second set, at this point it would be kind of hard to get that character, right? Like, that set has not been around for quite a while, so maybe make it a little bit easier to obtain some of those characters. But I found Patan to just be like, again, it's just like the Legends Adventure System. Like, it's not really, like, I don't even see the point of getting worked up in that. At least Chain Battle I understood a little bit more. Yeah, but I'm not really even really too sure. Rewards were awesome. Sucks it's going away, but I'm curious to see where Dokkan plans to go with other modes. Okay. 3 years was a decent run, even if I had the most roller coaster reactions ever. Yeah. And I mean, you say 3 years, but in actuality, I mean, the 4-year anniversary is in May. So we're closer to 4 years than we are 3 years, believe it or not, which is just nuts. Don't care. Just give you a good Tapion banner unit. I mean, Tapion should get sub EZAs, which, maybe he could get, like, fairly useful. And Tapion as a banner unit, I mean, that sounds very likely, right? Shows that Dokkan is actively looking at some of the feedback and are trying to find ways to make the game based on what players want while taking feelings and emotions into consideration. Alright, well, since we reached the last here, I could actually click and see. I feel like that had an ideal date in mind for the sync. where someone gets downstate is a year or two away. Yeah, to be fair, people were I've seen people really upset about GTA 6 and the Elden Ring DLC at the same time. So, hey, people are consistent. They hate when shit is announced, and then it's all right. See you in a billion zillion years, or to be announced, right? Like Elden Ring DLC, we don't know when that is. They're just like, yeah, dude, it's coming sometime. We're working on it. At least, I mean, let's be real here for a second. We already know this is gonna be fire. Like that's not like it's not a question. Like I'm kind of just like, yeah, you know what, From Software, yeah, just cook. I know y'all are gonna make it fire. All right, so we finished out those. Let's just look at a couple of more. I mean, we're kind of getting, I guess, a general gist to kind of like how people are feeling. Some of these things, like, we're gonna want to see like a little bit as time goes on, how, you know, some of this stuff is going to actually be implemented into the game and stuff like that with the changes. Yeah, I'm very interested at this power level stuff for sure. People not hyped for Dragon Fist. Yeah, I mean, I saw people saying like, oh, another Super Saiyan 3 Goku in this time slot or something like that. But I mean, they're gonna release, like, think of a character. If there's like really good animations, like, they're gonna make a character of that. So like Super Saiyan Goku. I mean, we're probably going to get one from Cell Games where he dies, right? Like, we're probably going to get a Super Saiyan Goku from the Broly movie, which we don't have. Like the one that, you know, that actually finishes Broly off. Like, you know, there's still other, you know, just like regular Super Saiyan Gokus and stuff like that we could get. There's still a lot of attacks and stuff like that he does on Namek that they could utilize. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Need you and Amatsu to have Yakuza final boss fight showing their back tattoos. Yeah. Oh no, chain battle. Alright, LW, pointless expected. Alright, I think we'll finish up here. Let me know what you guys think about kind of like the, you know, shenanigans that we've got going on here tonight. I do think overall, like, this is at least like they're trying to push the needle, right? Like, at least they're not just sitting back and being like, yep, like fat cats, we're looking good. Like, you know, these power level changes, you know, chain battle, you know, maybe a way better mode will show up to replace chain battle, right? Like, maybe even the big chain battle supporters will be pleasantly surprised in a couple of months. Who knows, right? Global sync info, we're still obviously waiting on that. Hopefully it'll come sooner rather than later, but, you know, we'll find out at a later date. So let me know what you guys thought of everything. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.